this 115th report Public Works Committee in relation to the Mount Barker roundabout upgrade. No doubt important work that follows on the dramatic growth of Mount Barker, and infrastructure growth needs to follow that population growth. And we ought to remind ourselves at each turn in this regard that whenever the Labor government's coming along and providing funds to Mount Barker, we ought to preface that with an apology to the community. Government's apologised already for the 20-year mismanagement of the growth plan, or the lack thereof, at Mount Barker, and the fact that Mount Barker is now needing to struggle through what are improvements that are really being made long after what should have been planned from the outset of Mount Barker's growth is a reminder to the residents of Mount Barker every day. There's going to be a lot that they're going to have to go through while this significant work is undertaken, and I just urge the government to ensure that it's done in as efficient and timely way as it possibly can. We're going to see disruptions left, right and centre, I expect, at Mount Barker over the course of it, and my goodness, let's hope that's worth it, because Mount Barker residents have been put through so much by this Labor government and past Labor governments, and they know that. The other thing I would stress is that you better believe it when you see it, because to take by way of contrast, just down the road at Meadows, we see a situation in which the government, the minister by his own hand, providing a promise to the very same local council, the Mount Barker Council, in January of 2024, January last year, that an intersection upgrade, including a roundabout, would be installed, a long-awaited, long-called-for safety and infrastructure upgrade at the centre of Meadows. And the minister promised that to the council, not to me. I've written to the minister urging it for some time, so I don't get a response. But he said it to the council in January last year. This will be done, and it'll be drawn from the $150 million Hills infrastructure upgrade funds. But the minister then had his CE write to the council just at the end of last year to say, "Oh, hang on, we won't be doing that anymore," or it's it's on the back burner. And just so we're really clear about it, just like in the case of works that have been long planned for Mount Barker, when the minister made his promise to the council in January last year that the upgrade would be done at Meadows, he must have done that informed by the then already completed infrastructure design, planning and drawing, because we have those and they're dated November 2023. So it wasn't just a kind of maybe we'll get there and if we assess it and so on. No, it was in the full knowledge of assessment, the full reference to the relevant fund from which this work was going to be drawn, and yet over the course of a year that was allowed to drift to, well, sorry, that's that might be on the back burner. Well, it's not good enough. Community Meadows will not stand for it, and I have the full backing of the council, the community association, and I want to thank and applaud my colleague, our Shadow Minister for Transport and Infrastructure, the Honourable Ben Hood, MLC, who has been on the ground with me at the doors and hearing it direct from our community. We won't stand for it in Meadows. Those in Mount Barker ought to just bear in mind that salutary lesson, that it's one thing to have something promised by this government, it seems. It's another thing to see it actually done. So we won't be letting up in Meadows. We'll be watching very closely to ensure that what is a very significant amount of money that's to be deployed in Mount Barker is deployed responsibly and in a timely way. So we will certainly be keeping a close eye on those works in at Mount Barker, and meanwhile the government ought to be able to keep its promises to the people of Meadows.
The member